Guys, what's going on? It's Colin here again, back with another engine project. This is an old Dayton generator. Go tags right here. Hopefully you guys can read that. Model number 3W092A. It's a 3 kilowatt unit. It's 122. Yeah, 120. Oh, that's interesting. 125 250 volts. So it's rated at 3600 RPM. You can see you got the 220 plugs here and the 120 plugs there. And that old Dayton logo, which I like a lot. Somebody at some point made this big piece of plywood that it mounts to. The generator and engine itself really isn't that big, but it's part of this big cage. I don't know what the point is, but looks like it's mounted on rubber. These bolts might be a little loose though. I'm gonna guess this is a 8-horse Briggs, maybe 7. There's your model type and code. So it's a 1976. You can tell by the first two numbers there. Assuming it's a 1965 or later engine. These first two will be the year of production here. Down here, easy spin starting. It's got a little bit of this yellow paint on it. I'm not entirely sure what the deal is there. Also not entirely sure what this thing is. I guess we'll find out. But it's a kind of cool unit. Got a couple suicide cords here, so I guess somebody was using this generator to backfeed. But yeah, it's a kind of cool unit. I like it. This was given to me by a friend. He said it probably has very low hours on it. Somebody gave it to him, but they didn't use it very much before that. And I doubt my friend used it, because he's probably got a bunch of generators, if I had to guess. But I figured in this video we could just go through it and get it running again. So, gonna go ahead and put you guys up on the tripod and we'll start taking a closer look. Alright guys, so I figured we could start by checking for spark, as usual. Go ahead and pop this plug out here. So this is a kind of interesting unit. There's something about it I like. I'm not entirely sure what it is. I've always liked these big Briggs engines. And the fact that it's old is always cool. Look at me, I'm putting this in upside down here. Actually, I should show you guys. Look, this plug isn't too bad. It's a little carbony, but they all are. Go ahead and rest that there. Zoom in on it for you guys. Hold on. There we go. Hopefully you can see that. See if it has spark. Alright, as I figured it has no spark, but 76, this thing's still got points in it. So, if I can zoom out instead of zooming in, go ahead and pop this front shroud off here where the points live. Points on this engine are going to be underneath the flywheel. So, go ahead and pop this off. I'm really not sure what the horsepower is on this engine. It doesn't really say it anywhere that I can see. I would guess it's a 7 or an 8. Alright, so this bolt's out now. All the bolts are up now, I should say. The shroud should just pop right off. There you go, there's your recoil and everything. I'd be pretty surprised if this is a 6-horse, because this is pretty big for 6 horse. Oh yeah, I'm trying to yank this thing out of the way. Somebody made some chucks that go under here. Keep it from rolling away. Find that kind of amusing. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get this screen off of here for the recoil. Pop the recoil off, clean those points up. I also see some sticky, icky looking crap down by the carburetor, so might have to do a carb cleanup on it. Which I was planning on doing anyways. Alright, so we can go ahead and get this recoil off of here now. which is a little bit gummy, so I'm going to go ahead and oil that because I don't want it to self-destruct. For those of you who don't know, these are just threaded on here, so if you don't have the real tool, you can just whack on one of these ears and it should pop loose. Something like that. There you go. That spins right off of there. Alright, so I've gone ahead and stood the unit up on end here because I'm going to get this flywheel off. The best way I've found to do this is to take a screwdriver, put it underneath, pull up, and then whack solidly on the crankshaft. Now, if your crankshaft is threaded all the way up to the end, what you can do is you can spin the nut off so it's still partially on the threads but sticks off enough so you can whack the nut instead. Well, let's give this a go here. Wow, this one is really stuck on there. Holy crap. There it goes. Alright, cool. I boogered up the end of that shaft a little bit, but that's not a big deal because it's not a threaded one. So I can just file that down. That is a heavy sucker too, for a flywheel, man. Sorry for the camera angles. This is a bit of an awkward unit to work on and video at the same time because I can't put it up on a bench or anything. I'm going to go ahead and get this points cover off of here so we can take a look at the points. Hopefully just clean them up. Get some spark back. This one's held on by 3 screws. I know they're only held on by 2, but this is also a fair bit larger than the other ones I've seen. There we go. There are our points. Yeah, they're pretty dirty, so let me grab the points file. Alright, so I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but we got spark back. Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and button that other stuff back up and put it all back together, and I'll be back in a second. Guys, so that's all buttoned back up now. So believe it or not, I'm actually flat out of gasoline right now, so I have nothing to dribble down the cylinder to see if it fires off. So what I'm going to do in the meantime is go ahead and take care of this carburetor right away. Alright, so I got the carburetor up on the bench here. It's probably a good thing we're going to do this because this thing is full of old smelling gas. And it's got oil and crap all over it, so it's probably a good idea to service it. You guys have probably seen me do these about 100 times by now, but hey, if you've watched it that many times, you could probably watch it again. The big thing with these carburetors is to make sure you get this main jet out of the bottom here before you take it apart, because otherwise you risk bending it. Now, obviously, if this strips, because it is just brass and that does happen, then you don't really have a choice. Just be very careful when you're taking it out at the top end to not bend it. This screwdriver that you guys always see me use, I ground down the end of this so it's nice and wide and it fits perfectly in these jets. And that's why I call it the magic screwdriver, because I made it specifically for this task. You have to get a very good fit, otherwise you'll strip this out. There you go, you can see that's kind of gooped up, so probably a good thing we're taking this apart. And there's just 3 screws on the top here. It appears that my gasket is stuck to the bottom here. I don't have another one, so I'm going to try and save that. But the fingernail works too. Alright, so it's really not too terrible. There's some rusty, crusty stuff in the bottom here, but otherwise, not too bad. Float's still nice and level. Needle's good. There's no liquid in the float. I think we managed to save that gasket, knock on wood. Alright, so I'm going to grab the chem dip and we'll give this stuff a bath. Alright, here we go. Let's see if first if the gas will turn on, and then second if it will fire up for us. Gas is on, and there's still plenty in the tank. Oh, what do you say? Here we go. Man, that thing's a fire breather. Holy crap, that's loud. Alright, so I got a hair dryer here, which supposedly will draw 2,000 watts at max. So go ahead and fire this thing back up again and put it under some load. Yes, I still need to do some fine tuning, I know that. Holy crap. I'm wearing earmuffs and that's loud. Hey, but it seems to be performing pretty well. So I did a little goofing around. Check out the idle I got on this thing. Shabby. Alright guys, there you have it. Got the old Dayton generator up and going again, so I'm pretty happy. The thing runs pretty well. I did a little more fine tuning and the hunting is not as bad, but it still hunts a little bit. But I think that's just gonna have to be how it is for now. I'm not entirely, I know it's fuel related, not entirely sure what's causing it, but as soon as you put it under a load it does fine. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like or hit that subscribe button. I think we're at like 88 subscribers now, so only 12 more till the big 100. That would be pretty cool if we could get there soon. I'd be pretty happy. But if you have a comment, feel free to leave one below. I really do enjoy talking with you guys down in the comments. It's fun seeing other people who are interested in this stuff too. And until then, I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh, and happy Father's Day, by the way.